original.
Hello and welcome to Web Crawlers. This is our mailbag episode where we read your emails and play your voicemails. I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
I'm producer Maria.
If you have not yet, please join our Patreon. It's patreon.com/webcrawlers. And for as little as $2 a month, you'll get bonus access to videos, episodes, chatter, and also you'll be able to join our Halloween costume party.
Yeah.
And tell them what you just did, Allie. Tell them the great thing they can listen to that you just recorded.
My coronavirus erotica?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's been up there for a minute. I'm not going to lie.
Well, but maybe new listeners don't know that Allie read a coronavirus erotica novel called
Kissing the Coronavirus. I also did
coronavirus.
I did character voices. So all the characters have different voices. So
what does the coronavirus sound like?
Hey.
Well, it has.
Did he sound like Bane?
Honestly, it does sound like Bane, but he has two voices. But I don't want to give too much away because that would give away a plot twist.
Yeah, you can't. You got to pay for this.
Oh my God. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to go pay. I got to go figure out what the plot twist is.
Yeah. So if you want to get in on that kind of stuff, then join our Patreon for sure. And also rate and review us on Apple Podcasts because we almost have 666 reviews, I think.
We have quite a few new 5-star reviews.
Oh, hell yeah, baby. Let's read them.
We're so close to 666.
We're also close to 1 million listens.
Oh my God, we're so close.
That's going to be incredible.
Okay, this review's from Mel McG. Subject is a hoot and a half.
Ooh.
Every episode, the ladies investigate a wide variety of super interesting topics from aliens to cults to the paranormal. Allie, Melissa, and producer Maria have a great dynamic, and the tangents they go on never fail to keep me entertained. My favorite episode thus far is the Skinwalker Ranch episode. They covered as many details that normally don't get covered when it's talked about. Absolutely give web crawlers a try. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys are so close to 1 million listens. You're at 941,000.
Damn.
Wow.
This is from ANMLXNG 666. Let's go, girls.
Dun, dun, dun,
Okay, Shania Twain.
This is from Kai Schultz. Release that demon. Love these gals and can't wait for them to reach 666. Boing.
Nice.
This is from Didn't Know I Needed a Nickname. We love it. Yes. Okay, I came here for the topics and stayed for Allie, Melissa, and Maria. Thank God y'all put out more than one ep a week because I cannot get enough of the banter and the facts and the bonkers stories. I love everything about this pod, and I know this is a true crime pod, but honestly feels like it's in its own category in the best way. Okay, bye. Love y'all.
I think that might be the problem, actually.
Yeah, because we're not really true crime. It's like a mix. This is from Adam. Help me expand my mind. If not for this podcast, I may have never found out flat earth raps are a thing. I've now been convinced the earth is flat and I spit at people who think it's round. Hail Xenu or whatever. Okay, well, 5 stars. This is the last one from Lynn Sally. Well, at first these gals lured me into their web to listen to all the stories. Now I listen for the Asher updates.
Well, he barfed today.
All right, thank you for all those lovely
Thank you,
5-star
guys.
reviews.
Should we play some VMs?
Yeah, some VMs.
Hello. This message is for the web crawlers. It is Jake from Buffalo,
From
also
State Farm.
known as the love child of Seth Rogen and Ray Romano. So where was I going to start with this one? I couldn't decide which story I wanted to tell, but I'll tell one that is incredibly spooky, and I'm not sure if it's true or not. So it might be one of those like urban legend stories, kind of like that snake story that Maria told during the Tina Colin Tompkins episode.
That was real.
With like the snake that crawled into bed and like
No,
wanted
yeah.
to eat the person. Yeah, you remember. Anyways,
Yeah.
so when I was like probably 15, I remember my friend Henry had this story that he told all of us about his brother's friend had just gotten an apartment. Every night, it was like on the top floor of a duplex. So every night he kept hearing somebody like coming up the staircase, but nobody would be in the staircase, obviously. So he was hearing really weird noises and like just kind of kept having all these really weird experiences. And about a month into living there, he woke up in the middle of the night and sees at the foot of his bed this just like really like mean old woman, a hag, if you will, standing at the foot of his
will.
bed. And I guess he, like, at the time just kind of thought it was like sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
or
the evil hag.
he was just like half asleep and didn't really think anything of it and just immediately fell back asleep. The next day, he actually gets a text from an unknown number.
Oh,
and
God.
it's a picture of himself.
No.
And the picture was taken from the exact spot where he saw the woman standing at the foot of his bed.
No.
I only will remember that story because first of all, didn't believe it. I thought it was bullshit when he told me. But if any other listeners have heard that one before, let me know in the Discord because I would love to know if that's just another like urban legend that anyone else has heard. I'm also sitting here wearing my Bigfoot sweater, so
Yes,
I'll
King.
go buy one because they're awesome. Anything else? No, I'll save my other story for another time. Okay. Adios.
Bye.
That is so scary.
It sounds like a cross between, you remember Dear David?
Yes.
That Twitter thing where the guy, like, over a year or something, he thought someone was, like, haunting him. And then, like, eventually he posted a picture of, like, that little boy that he drew.
And then he got a ghost hunting show on the Travel Channel.
Yes. It was a good.
That's what happens. That's
it was
what
a
you have
long
to do.
con. It was good. But this reminds me of there was this hotel. I can't remember what it was, a documentary or something where a guy would, he built this hotel, but he would have like a crawl space on top so he could spy on all of the people staying at the hotel.
Yes.
He would take pictures of them.
Yes, I remember this. I didn't watch the whole documentary because it grossed me out so much. But yes, it was like a peep hotel or something like that.
Yes.
And he would like take videos and pictures and he would sell the pictures
We should do
and
an
stuff.
episode on that.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's
Nasty.
scary. The whole like taking pictures of people while they're sleeping thing.
And I think some of the hotel was like double-sided mirrors or something like that, right? So you could like
Yes.
watch people would pay to come and watch what was going on in the rooms, like unbeknownst to the people staying in the rooms.
No thanks.
Yeah, hard.
I mean,
pass.
great business idea.
My Baskin Robbins growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in. Maybe Allie, do you
Pacific
remember this?
Palisades, baby. I would get an ice cream sundae there all the time. Once a week, my mom would pick me up from school. I'd get an ice cream
Once
sundae.
a week.
Well, I used to go
I
get the
was
ones
fed
that came in
shit
the
growing up.
helmets. The helmets, the baseball helmets. Remember when they used to do those Sundays? I loved those. But do you remember it had that two-way mirror on the one side of the Baskin Robbins?
What?
No.
There was like, you'd go in and there was like the ice creams. And remember there's the water fountain right there. Do
Yeah.
you remember what I'm talking about? And then if you went all the way to the back, there was a mirror. But if you looked inside, it was like their office.
Weird. I have no recollection of that at all.
So they were... I don't know why.
Weird.
But there was a two-way mirror in the Baskin Robbins.
I mean, that sounds like a Pizzagate thing, but I won't get into it.
Yeah.
Baskin Gate.
Baskin Gate.
Baskin. Yeah.
Okay, Maria.
Alrighty then.
I saw it with my
Okay.
own eyes. With my own eyes.
Okay. Well, okay. Here's a new voicemail.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
This
Oh, God.
here is a message for the
Web crawlers.
Web.
First off, Miss Allie, you look lovely today.
Oh.
Oh.
Second, this message here is for Maria.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I'm just wondering if your fancy clown college is hiring, because I have a cousin
Oh, no.
who used to be in the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus. And he wanted me to ask y'all if you're teaching classes and maybe seltzer spraying or pie face or something
Pie
like that.
face.
Fancy new clown college going on there.
Face.
Pie face.
Oh,
Pie face.
Haunted Possum, I hope you're feeling better.
Oh, that's
Bye.
nice.
Oh.
We're definitely open to taking applications.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey.
I'd like to stay away from like clowns that maybe teens could make fun of. Do you know what I mean? And make it more.
These are cool clowns.
I'm looking for like cooler clowns, like more like Cirque du Soleil type clowns. And those are cool clowns to me. Those are like French trained clowns, not
French trained.
Sounds like maybe you
clowns.
want mimes.
Yeah.
Well, I think mime is definitely a part of it, but I think it's more character work and less the quick joke.
Got it. Less like honk honk and more like body work.
Wee wee.
Less honk and more
More wee wee.
Got it.
No, I'm open to it. This is all in the beginning stages, and so please have him send his resume over.
This is for web crawlers. This is Bane Allison. I want to be a big guy for you.
It's Bane.
Oh, it's Bane.
The real Bane over here. That's what I'm talking about. Maria's cute. Bye.
That sounded like a cross between like Bane and Danny Zuko.
What was that? Well, thanks, Bane, for calling in again. Okay, here's another one.
Hi again. My name is Ashley. This message is for the web crawlers. I wanted to redo a voicemail because I left a really awkward, nervous voicemail a couple minutes ago. Hi, Allie, Melissa, and Maria. I love you all. So I do want to tell you about my sleep paralysis story. I'll try to make it quick.
Let's hear it.
Maybe disregard my last voicemail. I was flustered.
Okay.
But, okay, so one time I was studying for this really big comps exam that I had to take for my master's degree, and I was super, super stressed. And I think that's actually the key to, like, being vulnerable to sleep paralysis. That's one of my theories.
Oh,
is
sure.
stress and anxiety can, like, allow certain things to come in. That's just my personal opinion. But anyways, I was super stressed, and I gave up on studying. I went to bed, and so I'm falling asleep, and I felt like I heard a knock. I heard 3 knocks. I remember, like, being, like, laying in bed, not being able to move, and seeing this person come in, and I thought it was my brother because I live with him, and it was this dark figure, and I was just completely enraged. I was so mad. I just, like, I've never felt so much anger before. Came straight up over me. It, like, kept coming closer and closer and closer, and, like, came right over me. And, like, honestly, I'm a very happy person, so, like, while it was leaning over, I was like, oh my God, like, fuck you, get the fuck out. Like, I was so enraged. And then all of a sudden, like, all this emotion came out, and, like, I can't even describe. But the figure was right over my face, and then it sucked through, like, out of my door, and my door slammed, and I woke up, and I was, like, sweating. And everybody says it was just, like, a nightmare or, like, an anxiety dream, but I swear to God, I was susceptible to something evil, and I felt like I forced it out, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. The next day, I woke up like a ball of sunshine. I swear to God. I, like, curled my hair. I was so happy. I passed the exam. I wouldn't say it was flying colors, but I fucking passed, and it was nice.
Okay.
Wow. What a story.
What a story. Okay, here's another voicemail.
Hi, this is a message for web crawlers. This is Haunted Possum again.
Oh, hi.
This is a story basically of a guy who was way too horny at the funeral home. And it was chosen by Maria's demon on Discord. It was between that or a weird thing that happened to my parents. Anyway, we had just finished basically dressing and putting makeup on and everything necessary right before the funeral.
I don't like
And
where this is going.
it was the old woman, and her old rancher husband was still alive. And we brought him to the body just to ask him if she looked okay, if there was any alterations he'd like. He doesn't look down at her at all. It's me and then a coworker of mine called Deborah. He's looking at both of us really intently. And so again, I say, is there any alterations you'd like to make? And then he goes, you know, I wish we could still have hookers on the street. And I said, excuse me?
What?
And he went, back when we had hookers, they were better times. They would just walk the streets. But we had a good mayor because he kept them off the streets until nighttime. It was for nighttime use only. And I was basically stunned into silence.
What?
And Deborah was like, okay, so you're fine with the buddy? And then he went, yeah. And then walked away. And I was way too horny at the funeral home. It was bizarre. It was a wife of like, I don't know,
Oh my God.
probably 40 years. He was not interested in her at all. It was very uncomfortable. Anyway, thanks. Love you guys so much. Bye.
Whoa.
Wow, that
Funeral homes
is
are crazy places to work.
no man's land. Wow,
He
wild.
probably didn't even want to like acknowledge that his dead wife was in front of him.
That's so weird.
It's crazy.
Okay, another voicemail.
Hi, this message is for web callers. My name is Sarah. I'm calling from the mess that is Florida. I love you ladies. I love this show. It's definitely getting me through this crazy time. Shout out to my friend Tennille, who introduced me to the show. I have two important things to tell you. One important thing is the crazy call that you guys are talking about on Kauai. They came from Crestone, Colorado. There's actually another missing person from Crestone, Colorado.
Oh.
Her name was Crystal Reisinger, and she disappeared after like a special magical drum circle gathering on the side of the mountain.
I've heard
Oh,
of
shit.
this.
She still hasn't been found. Her body has not been recovered, although her family presumes her dead. There's a lot of shadiness, of course, around her missing, a lot of cultish kind of vibes. And Payne Lindsay did an entire podcast on it. I'm sure that you guys could find it. I don't know the name of it. But, I mean, he's whatever. But that's a good, it is a good podcast to get the information. So, number one, look into that because it's crazy how it ties into that Kauai cult. And then separately, as a child, I was on a TV show here in the area that I live, in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, along with all my other classmates. And it was a Christian religious TV show because I went to a Christian school and we would take field trips there. Anyway, it's called Joy Junction. And
Joy
turns out
Junction.
that the puppeteer, who was kind of like a ventriloquist, but he wasn't very good at it, that we sat, my husband and I, because we met in elementary school,
Oh.
10 feet away from this guy many times from kindergarten to 5th grade. Turns out to be like a child cannibal. He never got to eat a child. He wanted to eat a child. He posted on the internet about eating children, and he is now serving 20 years in jail. And his name is, well, I know the dummy's name was Marty. His name was Ronald William Brown. And
Ronald William
so if you
Brown.
Google Ronald
It's all
William
over the
Brown,
internet.
Child puppeteer cannibal, it's going to be very interesting. All right, love you girls. Thank you so
Oh.
much for posting all these things that you do. You do so many podcasts a week, and I gobble them all up. So thank you so much. Good.
Gobbled them all up just like Marty,
Yeah.
the dummy.
Pedophile puppeteer sentenced to 20 years in prison after planning to torture, rape, murder, and eat toddlers.
Oh, I like how she's like, I remember the puppet's name was Marty.
This is crazy. This is for the Daily Mail. The pedophile puppeteer who planned to kidnap, rape, murder, and then eat toddlers was sentenced to 20 years. Ronald William Brown, 58, pleaded guilty to 8 counts of possessing child pornography, including distressing images of dead children.
What?
Oh my God. He monitored online chats he entered into, which he discussed his desire to kidnap, kill, and eat a boy at his church.
What?
The journals, which dated back from 1993, showed that Brown was obsessed with one particular boy who attended Dunland Middle School and would repeatedly drive past to see him. Oh my God. Prosecutors also showed evidence to the court which depicted a photograph of a boy labeled as if he were an animal being prepared for slaughter, with parts of his body indicated as steaks and shanks.
No.
But what about Marty? Was Marty sentenced too?
Marty didn't do anything bad.
Oh
Marty's
my
got his
God.
police lineup photo.
I didn't see anything.
This is crazy. He wanted to eat the kids for Easter.
That's
Make an Easter
wild.
feast.
Ew, like while he was doing this show, this children's show, he's just thinking about eating all the kids.
We should do an
creepy.
well, I mean, this is pretty gross, but
That's wild. We should find, maybe there's this TV show, maybe we can find clips of it.
Joy Junction.
In Florida?
Brown started his puppeteer company in 1992, Puppet Plus.
Ew. Puppet Plus? Gross.
I mean,
Oh
this
my
is like
God. Yeah, there's clips of it. Oh
this
my
is
God.
like a big thing. This was crazy.
Ron and Marty.
We should do an episode on this and have her on.
You know what's not cool is like when I'm on a site that's telling me about a kid cannibal, and then all of a sudden like a ad for like Goldbelly comes up, and I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Are you
eat that.
hungry?
Yeah. You guys, you're not gonna like this. I'm sending you this clip right here. You're not gonna like what Marty's about.
Oh no.
You're not gonna like what he's about at all.
Oh, this clip right here? Okay.
Yeah. And that's Ron with Marty.
Yeah, I noticed that some of the kids were kind of giggling and laughing, and I wondered why they were doing that. Well, why were they doing it? Well, they said, Marty, come over here and take a look at our pictures. So I walked on over there and I took a look, and do you know what it was? What was it, Marty? Well, it was in Arizona, I'll tell you that right now. Ron, they were looking at some dirty pictures and they wanted me to look too.
What?
Well,
This
Marty,
is a
what did you
segment
do?
about looking at dirty
I
pictures.
said, look, guys, I like you a lot, and I want to play with you, but I can't look at those pictures. I just can't do it. Well, what did they say, Marty? They said, oh, Marty, come on. Your parents are in the house. No one will see. Well, what did you say? I said, that may be true, but I know someone who will see, and that's God. That's right, Marty. That kind of reminds me of a verse I'm thinking of in the Bible that's found in 2 Timothy 2:22. And it says that you should run away from anything that will give you evil thoughts. And as your companions, you should have friends who have pure and clean thoughts. Well, you know what I decided to do? What's that, Marty? I decided to turn around and go right back home. Well, Marty, I'm real proud of you for that.
Okay, but
and
this
some
is
of the
a good
kids
show.
are kind of laughing at me, too. Well, that's
It's like
okay,
HR
Marty.
Puffin
I
stuff.
think they
It's
will
great.
respect you
Engaged.
for your opinion. And, I'm glad you weren't wishy-washy. I'm glad you remained firm in your belief that looking at those kind of things is wrong. I'm real proud of you, Marty, for the decision you made.
Hey, I'm proud of you too, Marty. Hey, Professor!
Who's
you
that
mean
freak?
That is...
I got my wishy-washy machine here.
That is a...
Okay, Joy Junction is more like pervert palace.
Pervert Park.
My
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, pervert party.
No bueno, man. That's a no for me, dog. That's crazy.
That's
That's a
wild.
no from me, dog.
Yeah. God, wow.
Well, we got one last voicemail.
Hard act to follow.
Hi, this is Morgan, and this is for the web crawlers. I have been listening to the podcast, binge listening to it for the past, 2 weeks now. I'm finally up on, late July episode. But anyway, so I was listening to a mailbag episode, and you mentioned Lund and Malmo, two cities in Sweden. And I thought that was really interesting because you were trying to be like, we have listeners that have nothing to do with Chicago, some random towns in Sweden. And what's funny is a lot of people and kids from Lund and Malmo and other places in Sweden actually go to college in Chicago at a place called North Park. It's a Swedish university. And Vikings and everything. So I thought that was just kind of funny that there's a weird association between
interesting.
those two Swedish cities and Sweden in general, and coming back to Chicago. So I thought
away from
I'd
Chicago.
call in and say that, because I thought that was kind of a weird coincidence that those are just the two random towns that you decided to mention. So love the show. Thanks, and keep going.
Keep going.
Keep it going.
Interesting.
That is
Wow.
interesting.
What do they call Chicago? The Beanie City? The Bean City? The
Windy City.
The Windy City.
But
Is
they
there a
got that
bean
big
there?
bean.
They got the
the
bean. They got the
the
bean.
bean. The Bean Wind City. Well,
Beanie Wind City.
Eat too much beans and it becomes
it's going to be a
the
windy
city.
day.
Oh boy.
Anyways, well, that's it for our mailbag episode for today. Please continue to call and email. We love to hear from you guys. Crazy story. I mean, like, you guys have been through some crazy shit. It's wild. We love to hear about it. Anyways, I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stetton.
And I'm producer Maria.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.